I mean, what? Have you have no shame? I honestly never thought of an explanation of a facial gag would occur in this chapter, or ever. That's a win. The chapter begins to explore newer heroes as well as more in-depth characterization of Deku. While it is taking its time, there's enough to enjoy it with a good mix of content. Since the last chapter's ending came out of nowhere, so to say, this chapter provides some interesting notes that makes the moment of meeting more significant than what it was intended. I always like the valid reasons that the series continued to exploit, leaving a small gap to argue back. Case in point, All Might wouldn't allow Deku to attend internship with Sir Night-Eye, the Sakamoto lookalike, with reasons like not ready when one of his styles needs work. I do like the mix of reactions from other teachers for every point All Might makes, which helps a lot to let loosen the atmosphere of the discussion. Mike ended it off makes the segment worthwhile. The interesting note that came out of it is a very brief reasoning to not to go to Night-Eye. All Might claims that they had an awkward breakup, which begs the obvious question, what happened? However, it serves a point for the audience to acquire the in-depth look of a new character. Speaking of depth, what this chapter does a really good job on is characterizing its characters, starting with Deku. He brings out the small gap of counter argument and enlarge it enough for All Might to have a second opinion. While Deku is being too hasty, he has proven that he is in need of a guidance by someone who can associate with All Might, and who's better than a former sidekick. The standout moment is when Deku was asked by Mirio on what kind of hero he wants to be. A simple response of being the best of them all could have done here. However, the mangaka wants to make you feel as much as connected with him by elaborating his background since childhood. It draws me closer as he monologues on how much he wants to achieve that goal, yet all of which have a lot of reality strikes, including mother's disapproval and rival outpacing him in attributes that he needs to work on. After recapping through his journey, his answer feels significant, worth of use of recap. Mirio has been a swell character ever since he has been introduced, and this chapter is no exception. He's a guy that you would definitely like to hang out with. In fact, you can see him like a big brother. The charm that he has shown here brings a better light to his character. He comes off like a caring guy who wants someone to get the same privilege that he has. He vouches for Deku to meet Sir Night-Eye, which gives me a good feeling that these two could bond really well. What I like about him is how he treats others when it comes to helping out, because he has that sense of, I owe everyone for helping me out. Think it like passing torch, or more like share the fire to another torch. While the chapter didn't focus on the successor, he was in fact a candidate for All Might, and he can see why. I thought that was a nice moment. That all said, it does give me an eerie feeling that he has this death flag around him. Perhaps because he's a nice guy and the vibe around him gives a feeling of nice guy finished last. Granted, there's no romance involved, but the point is, it has the visible setup for a person's demise. You can argue that perhaps he's a spy for the villains, and that's a possibility. But as of now, I'm leaning towards to major death. If I have the time, I would have gone over more discussion on it, but perhaps another time. The build-up for Sir Night-Eye's character reveal is pretty good and has me circling on what to expect out of him. It starts with All Might stating that they had an awkward breakup, which later reinforced that All Might became someone that Night-Eye was afraid of. So it gives you a thought that he's a really serious guy. That may be true, but there's more to it. He's rough on everyone, including himself. The takeaway is Mirio advising Deku to make him laugh when introducing, which doesn't match well with everything that has been said. To make matter even more odd, Bubble Girl, who is the fan art contest winner, reports without humor, so Night-Eye punishes her with Tickle Machine. The image of a serious guy with a laughing intention makes me so confused yet fascinated. I thought it's neat to have a Batman Nightwing resemblance in many ways. I mean, the name is pretty obvious. Nevertheless, the Night Eye takes the comedy serious, and I mean dead serious. Who could have had a straight face with this kind of contraption? Perhaps he's laughing without visibly laughing, if that makes any sense. The visual is pleasant, and is more in tone of comical effect, which it works well, especially the ending. The first page somewhat sets the tone that this will be a relaxation and amusing chapter. There are good paneling here that brings the awe yet alarming feeling. Seeing Muriel enjoying his time with All Might's thoughts is striking. The last couple of pages are fun to watch, and how it doesn't match well with the character's tone. To make Night Eye laugh segment is what really got me laughing good. Deku's idea to make him laugh is to express as All Might with a replica facial expression. That face got me laughing. To make even greater is that there is an explanation behind it. He is such a massive fan that he managed to replicate his look each passing times when looking at the mirror. In other words, it's not a visual gag for the sake of gag. He can really do it. That's awesome! Sadly, Night Eye's reaction doesn't look good for Deku. Ugh. The chapter ends there, which makes it a fun cliffhanger that is a nice change of pace. This is a pretty nice chapter to relax on with a good depth development and characterization. It also has a promising fun character on the horizon and a fun cliffhanger that doesn't need to be tense. What is going to happen to Deku? Stay tuned for next time. I'm giving this chapter an 8. That last couple of pages really helped a lot. I mean, that face is just so funny, especially the fact there's an explanation behind that. So it's not just the over-the-top expression that's just there for visual. The fact he can really do it, that just makes it more hilarious. What are your thoughts of this chapter? Do you think Night Eye is just going to laugh, or there's going to be some consequences? I think there might be a little consequences. He may be a true hardcore fan of All Might. The fact that they were psychic, maybe All Might got uncomfortable with him, or maybe the fact that whatever he said about like he became someone that Night Eye didn't want him to be, it could be something that has to do with a hardcore fanboyism. That's my thoughts, but you never know with Night Eye. My thoughts are told, don't let yours on hold. Leave a comment below. Thank you for watching this video. If you like this and want more of this, subscribe to my channel and my world will be yours to stay. Until next time, take care.